fake news and it affects
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
So what do you do?
That's a great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true anymore. So what a responsibility you all have to tell the truth, not just to be first, but to tell the truth. We live in a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. We don't care if it's true. Just say it. Sell it. Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including BS.
You told me last
Peace and love to all you Moors, all you Muslims, all you Asiatics. Straight to it. Part 2. You get out what you put in. Noble Drew Ali, he said these words right here. These words right here. He say, every temple must have a school. The half has not been told. If I told you everything, you would go back to sleep. Study, study, study. And when you would have studied well and would ask me what to study next, I would reply, study yourselves. Study yourselves. So when we saying study ourselves, we have to dive back into our culture, our people, instead of going along with the propaganda project that the school system from coast to coast has established. Since John D. Rockefeller and Frederick T. Gates, they established the school system. The General Board of Education is set up for denationalization and mental manipulation. This is what the whole entire school system from coast to coast. I don't care if you from on the West Coast. I don't care if you on the East Coast. I don't care if you down south. I don't care if you up north. Every school system established, the General Board of Education is set up to have our minds denationalized, genocide. Instead of rejecting the denationalization, the school system has taught us to embrace the denationalization. We're Black, Indian, Native American, all of these American Indian names and the newer ones like Pan-Africanism and the whole new Black Federal Black Association, Black Lives Matter. You notice that these names, they done got real quiet. I'm talking about super quiet. Where's all these BLMs and all these people? Where they at now? They so quiet right now, you can hear a pin drop. They ain't nowhere to be found. Watch this stuff. This is why we talking about the press. What the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was talking about. He established the Moorish God in 1929. This is what he established. What did he say about the Moorish God? He say this. Let's go right here. He say the Moorish God feels that the greatest weapon in the hands of our group today in America is our press. What is the First Amendment? Freedom of press. That's the First Amendment. Because look, let's go a little further. He say the truth will never be told about a disadvantaged minority by the general press of any country, whether that minority be racial, political, or religious, unless we express ourselves through papers of our own. The truth about us will not be told. Facts. Many of the beautiful things, many of the hopeful things and events which mark the progress of our group will go unrecorded were it not for our papers of our own. So that puts it like this then. How can you expect somebody that's doing treacherous shit? How can you expect them to ever be 100 and tell the truth about anything? If the power of press is in their hands, why would they, if they think about this, what they doing right now, as far as disinformation, misinformation, imagine what they did back then. Imagine what they was on back then, changing records, taking shit out, putting shit in. Imagine what they was doing then. See, it wasn't no cameras like that then. So imagine what they was on then. Because you see what they on now. And ain't nothing new under the sun. Just like the propaganda project. It's nothing new under the sun. This is why the prophet said, our papers are our only hope of shoveling ourselves out from under the avalanche of lies that are annually let loose upon us. A strong free press is the best positionable safeguard of the liberties in general, promotion and defense of the interests of strong free people. In order to free the people, in order to change the people, you got to change their literature. If you steady hearing propaganda and don't know it's propaganda, you gonna actually embrace the propaganda. You gonna embrace black. You're going to embrace somebody calling you the most disrespectful thing you could call somebody, black. You're going to actually think that's like a good thing. You're going to embrace that like that's some benevolent. The most disrespectful thing somebody could call you is black. Somebody got to tell you straight up. That's the worst thing that somebody could call you is black. And if you embracing that like, yeah, I am that. They got you under the spell. They got your brain under the spell of this right here. That's the worst thing somebody could call you. A black woman, a black man. It's the worst thing on earth to be called because you calling yourself dead. And our people just embrace that shit. So let's look at this. Instead of us looking like this, mentally, we got our people out here embracing us down here. Us down here and put them up there. That's the school system. This is what they do. This is what they do. Let's go over here. Out of the book, Disinformation and You. Identify propaganda and manipulation. What did it say? It said this right here. Freedom of the press, he states, is owned by those who own the press. Today, those owners make sure their media outlets promote specific agendas and turn the best profits they can. Watch this stuff. How I go right along with the prophet Noble Drew Ali when he said we need to have our own press, our own everything, right? Because it was an avalanche of lies. Now watch how we correlate that with this. He say, fear, sex, and scandal always sell better than charming tales of humans helping other humans. Of course, after the lead, the newsroom has to deliver the story. And if you're looking for blood and tears and sometimes sweat, local TV news doesn't disappoint. Ain't that real? When you turn on the news, ain't it always bad news on the news? Is it ever good? Is it ever really good news on the news? Let's go right here.
Okay. Remember, if you go down and you trace the ownership of a station or a newspaper and you get to a corporation, in this country, radio, television, and print is all owned by 5 corporations. All of these corporations that own the media are owned and controlled, and members of the Council on Foreign Relations sit on their board of directors.
Can you name those 5 corporations? Is that
not off the top of my head?
Okay.
I could try, but I don't want to take a chance on being inaccurate. But you can trace that yourself.
Okay.
Remember, if you go down and you trace the ownership of a station or a newspaper and you get to a corporation, remember that somebody owns that corporation, and it's usually another corporation. But when you trace the interlocking of all these things, when you get to the top, there's 5. And all journalists know that there's some things you don't write about and you don't talk about because you'll lose your job.
Right.
And that's where the control is. And that's why they pay anchormen like Dan Rather $2 million a year, because he doesn't question them. He knows that if he goes against them, he's going to lose $2 million a year. Mm-hmm. Do you think a man that looks pretty and sits in front of a TV camera for the 6 o'clock news is worth $2 million a year? No way. I don't care how long he works and I don't care what he does. There is no job worth $2 million a year. That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
That was back then.
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time.
So they don't have the time to think about nothing. You don't know who that is? That's William Cooper. He came out with this book right here. Behold a Pale Horse. Get this book right here. Fire. Get this book one time for the one time in your library. He on here talking about the Roman circus, which ties in directly to the media. The fear, the sex, the scandals, the blood, the guts, the tears, the owners of these media outlets. This is what they are in business to do. Spread disinformation, identity propaganda, manipulation. This is what they in business to do. Because ain't nothing good on the news. It's always bad news on the news. That's what they want, though. They want to keep people in a state of fear. They want to keep people to thinking about sex all day, scandals all day, drama all day. We talking about big business, man. Instead of us on that, distracted and defeated, Noble Drew Ali, he was on this right here, establishing this, the Moorish divine and national movement. See, it's divine first. So it's spiritual first. Then it's a national movement. This is not just something what you think is, this is a movement just with moving parts on the planet. No, this right behind me, this Moorish flag, this is a divine and national movement. This is a spiritual divine thing. It's not just localized on planet Earth. No, sir. This is divine. This is why we say study, 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 because this is not just here on Earth. This is as above and so below. As above is off world. It ain't just here. Look. So when you saying, well, what is the Moorish Divine and National Movement supposed to be about? And keep in mind, this series is entitled, You Get Out What You Put In. This is what you do. You get out what you put in. So in order for us to start putting some actual energy into something that actually works, instead of believing something, we got to go in. We got to put more of this into ourselves. The old Canaanite temple, established in Newark, New Jersey. New Ark. Look at it. Slow it down, break it down. The Ark. New Ark, right? New Jersey. Everything has significance. New Jersey, 1913 AD. He was the first one over here talking about Islam over here in the Americas in 1913. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Facts. The Moorish Holy Science, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, the civic organization, 1925, 1926. All right, hold up. Let's see something real fast. Hold up. Let's see something real fast. Let's do this in real time. Let's do it in real time. What does civics mean? It say, the study of the rights and duties of citizenship. So the study of rights and duties of citizenship. This is what Noble Drew Ali was talking about. So why do they keep talking about Noble Drew Ali set up some religious organization? It says clearly in 1925, 1926, the Moorish Holy Temple of Science was a civic organization. That was the beginning. Civics is what again? The study of the rights and duties of citizenship. Citizenship. So if I ask you, or somebody else asks you, what kind of citizen are you? What kind of citizen are you? Huh? What kind of citizen are you? Then we say, hold up right here. What do you say right here? What kind of citizen are you? So we say, wake up in full life, become aware and active, and activate your right of birthrights. Follow the supreme instructions to enforce the supreme law of the land. The supreme law of the land is the Constitution. But see, the school system, again, is really the propaganda project. This is what the school system, all the school systems is set up for. It don't matter where you live at. They all set up the same. Chicago, down south, Louisiana, ATL, Florida, New York, Cali, it don't matter. Oregon, it don't matter where you from. It's the propaganda project. John D. Rockefeller. Whole time, look. So he say what? The Organic American National Constitution of 1791 established for the United States of America and anyone occupying the American land. Watch this stuff. Enforce it so you are not molested by other citizens, quote unquote. Who are the other citizens? Let's go a little further. There is a difference in American as it pertains to its citizenship and United States of America citizenship. Bing, 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 bing. Ain't that what the Prophet Noble Drew Ali was talking about in 1925? That's why he established the Moorish Holy Temple of Science civic organization. Hold up. What's civics again? Civics, this is from an Oxford dictionary. You could Google it. Civics is the study of the rights and duties of citizenship. Strong. Back to the literature. What he said? He said the U.S. national simply does not exist. And you are not and never can be the foreigner upon your own land. We as Americans, we are the Americans. This is the thing. Look. America is not only the true old world, but here's the thing right here. This is the thing. This is the thing right here. We gotta get this in our head now. Like, we can't play around with this shit. This right here. Look. Let's do it in real time. Let's do it in real time, Jay. It's better like that. It's better like that. When you say American and you do the penny test, who matches 100% a penny test? And you go to an actual book, whether you go online or you go with a physical book, 1828. You want to go, because people will be like, Kush, why we got to go to them old dictionaries? Why we can't do nothing new? Because the older dictionaries is less likely to be watered down. That's why you got to go back. You go back to the older ones, like before 1960. You want to go to dictionaries like that, older than that, because all of the modern dictionaries, they all watered down. Facts. They're watered down. They started manipulating them, taking out words. Taking the words out so we couldn't trace ourselves back. So you got to go back. Look. Who matches this right here? Who's that right there? Who's that? That's our people. There's the penny test. Put a penny on your arm. It ain't black. I'm going to say that one more again. Put a penny on your arm. It ain't black. This speaker right here, this is black. Our skin, it's not black. I don't care how dark somebody is. They don't match this. Facts. American, adjective pertaining to America. American. A noun, person, place, thing, or idea. A native of America. Originally applied to the Aboriginals, What? The Aboriginals? So the Americans is the Aboriginals and indigenous people? Yes, sir. Or copper color races found here by the Europeans. So when they say found here, that means we was already here. That's why America is the true old world. You see? And when you say America, there's so many ways you could break America down. You're saying a more, a mer, a more. MER is an abbreviation for MOOR or MUUR or MOHR or MUIER. It's over 50 variations of the word more itself. Facts. All you gotta do is just start typing stuff in Google. You just gotta know what to type in there. See, the information ain't hidden. You just gotta know what you want to type in the browser. Once you type it in the browser, you might gotta type around a little while. Whole time, it's there. You just gotta know what you're looking for. Let's go a little further. Then you say this. See, because these people right here, they been getting the pass. Because we ain't been knowing what to look for. So let's go right here. Remember how we talking about the press. Our press is our greatest weapon. That means us looking things up is our greatest weapon. Not somebody telling us what things is, but us knowing what things is. That's our greatest weapon. Okay? See this right here? Black. So these are the black people. I know. It's if this is your first time listening to something like this, I know. It's gonna be real kind of difficult to wrap your mind around what the facts is. I know, because of the school system. The school system, they set this up for us to be discombobulated. So when we hear the truth, we're gonna instantly reject the truth because of the propaganda training. This is what John D. Rockefeller set up for. He set up for when we hear the truth, we're going to instantly reject the truth. And we're going to think that the truth is the lies when it's the other way around. These are the black people, because black means pale, wan, blaking, to become pale, to turn white, to bleach, or also lighten. See? So when you hear and you see in real time what it is, not what it looked like, what it could be and all that, this is the definition of black, blake, pale, blaking, blocking. This is what the word means. Don't argue with somebody showing you receipts. How about you go look up the receipts yourself, then do some cross-examination, cross-referencing yourself. Remove the emotion, because I know you might get triggered. This can psychologically trigger our people, because our people, we deal with a lot of emotions. We want a lot of answers, and we want a lot of things done right now. But it's like, if somebody gave you a bucket, and they told you to, this bucket, this is what you need to carry the water to, you know what I'm saying, to your place. This bucket, use this bucket. But the bucket got holes in it. See, the school system, fam, is rigged. The school systems, coast to coast, they gave us buckets each. The school systems gave us these buckets that they called education. But the buckets have holes in them. You get it? So the information that they told us is leaking all outside the bucket because the bucket got holes. The only way to patch up the bucket is with the correct knowledge. See, the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding, that's the glue. That's why the Prophet Noble Ali told us to study, study, study. He was saying that 3 times to emphasize the holes in the bucket. The so-called school system, G, the propaganda project, they got us out here thinking that we citizens. We're nationals of the land. We can never be citizens. We're nationals. That's why you gotta, this is why This is why Noble Drew Ali established civics. What year did he establish civics? 1925. The Moorish Science Temple of America was a religious organization in 1928, though. What was first? This crashes a lot of people's belief systems right now in real time. They'll be like, Noble Drew Ali, he set up a religious organization. He set up a religious organization after he had already established a civic organization 3 years before. 1925. Bing bong. See that? And once he did that and established that, schools for Moorish children, industry businesses, press newspaper literature, Young Businessman's League, Women's Auxiliary, Moorish Community Development, Civics and Law, Instruction and Communications, etc. This is how we begin to take our places among the affairs of man and women. This is the whole blueprint right here. But these people out here that's like half in, half out, they don't never show real receipts though. But we're gonna show them right now. You know what I'm saying? This is why Moors who do actually uphold what the prophet was talking about studying, and our press is showing to me what I get off when he said press is our greatest weapon. To me, I see like that's showing receipts off. Because people could do this all day. They blah, 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 blah. They talk all day. But they don't show no receipts though. So to me, showing receipts off is like, all right, well, fam, he's showing documentation. Or sis over there, she's showing documentation. She ain't just on there talking. Islam. Let me know where y'all more is tuning in from too with it. Let's go. Here we go right here with it. Look at it. Listen to this.
Time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated. So that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated. So they don't ever question the emperor. That's why they pay a player on a football team or a baseball team $1 million or $2 million or $3 million a year. It is the Roman circus.
Mm-hmm.
I know men who don't know anything in the world except who plays third base for the Mets. And they think that's a great accomplishment. And they meet and pat each other on the back and bond and go have cocktails and talk about what this guy that plays third base for the Mets did in last night's game. It's sad.
It's sad. It's sad. And it's also propaganda. It's also a project that happens every day in the schools. Instead of us looking at stuff like this, we're not encouraged to look at stuff like this. We encouraged to rock with sports only, rock with dancing only, rock with things that really ain't got no real significance. You ask somebody, hey man, is America a continent or is it a country? Now, the training of the school system, keep in mind, is like a bucket that got holes in it. They in their head, they gonna think that they really got education. Whole time, the school system has given all of us, myself included, training, propaganda training. This is what the school system was set up to do. It wasn't set up for us to be like, man, I know what the 10 Bill of Rights is. It ain't set up for that. Because think about it. If you want to keep a people that got control of another people, you don't want to have them educated. Hell no. Why would you want to have a people that you got control of the media on, you got control of the economy on, you got control of the industry on? Why would you want to have them ever get in their mind they educated? I'm talking about erudition. I ain't talking about they're trained. I ain't talking about that. It's a difference between educated erudition and training. I'm talking about they don't want people outside to be well educated. That's bad for business. What's the business? U.S. corporation, the city of London, the city of the Vatican. Bad for business. No, sir. That's why fool, John D. Rockefeller, that's what he set this up for. The General Board of Education. So we ain't knowing who we is. Instead of us knowing that we this, we ain't knowing that. We ain't knowing that at all. No, sir. We ain't knowing that at all. Because look at this. Look at this right here. From the book, Mer to More. Right? Keep in mind, we talking about America. You know what I'm saying? A mer. Them 4 letters right there. This is not a magic trick. Peep these 4 letters right here. A mer, mer, M-E-R, to more, Kemet until now. We talking about etymology, phonology, semantics, and morphology of the word more. Peace to the more Cosmo L. Grand Sheik Victor Taylor L. We talking about the word mer, okay? We just talking about one word right now. The word mer and more are the same thing. But they right here, they don't want us to learn this. Because if you learn this, and you learn this, and you learn this, and you learn this, etc., you learn that ain't no more secrets, ain't no more lies. Then you say, well, what does that mean? In Kemetic language, mer, more, in Greek adaptation, moros, Latin adaptation, more, English adaptation is more with 2 O's. And if you say, what does amor mean in so-called Spanish? You can Google it right now. Matter of fact, let's do it together. What does amor mean in Spanish?
In Spanish, you would say un más.
Let's do it this way. What does amor mean in Spanish?
Amor is Spanish for love.
Let that one just digest. Did you like that? The word love in so-called Spanish, translated to English, is love. And love is the highest principle on the star. Ain't that something? Love is the top of the star. Love is the top of the star. What do we question though? Question. What's promoted amongst our people? What's promoted? Hatred. This is why Noble Drew Ali, once again, if you study his literature, he said more should love instead of hate. What's promoted in the news, in the media? What's promoted? Sex, death, greed, betrayal, scandal, bloodshed. All of this, etc., is promoted in the media. Who controls the media? Corporations. All linked up. I don't care what TV show you might watch. They all controlled by a dark conglomerate. To control the masses, you control what they watching, what they listening to. Look at the music industry right now. Not just even the media as far as what we watch. Look at the so-called music industry. Listen to the songs that these rappers is promoting. They promoting death, murder, kill, sex, money, greed, lust, everything on a frequency not like love though. See, the love is at the top because again, this is a divine. Once again, this is a divine and national movement. This is not just a national movement, coast to coast. This is a Moorish divine and national movement, fam. This is why you got to take it higher. And what's more divine than love? Oh, I like that. I like that. What's more divine than that? Actually, you can't even really define what love is. If we all weigh 100 with it, you can't really define what love is. You just know once you in love or you feel love, it's indescribable. So that's the divinity. You can't even describe the actual definition of what love really is. That's why it's at the top. That's the frequency we got to start operating in, though, instead of the lower vibrational frequency of hate. Too much hate out here. People be out here hating like they getting paid for it and shit. How you hating like you got like this your job? Your job is to be on some, you gonna hate all day. You go online and just be like, fuck it, I'm finna hate on whoever. Like straight trolls though. Like this what they own though. But let them stay their ass in that low vibration right there and see how long they gonna last. They gonna start looking old, miserable, shit gonna start crumbling around them. Y'all know what I'm talking about? People that just be out here just own that, just on straight hate mode. Like they just wake up on hate mode. They want to just tear up something, break up something. They don't want to build nothing. They just want to just break up shit. But that's free will though. You see? A lot of people can't handle their free will. Free will, it's a lot of responsibility. You know how Superman, how they told Superman? Like his pops, how he told him? Spider-Man, how they told him? What they told him? With great power comes great responsibility. So it's a lot of responsibility that comes with the knowledge. And a lot of people, they have been brainwashed by the school system to reject the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? They embrace the hatred. They embrace the jealousy. They embrace the greed. They embrace the scandals. They embrace the gossiping. They embrace all the bogus shit because they programmed by the school system. But it's time to break that shit now because ain't no more secrets. Ain't no more lies. It's over with for that. See? It's over with for that, fam. This is why we got to study etymology, phonology, semantics, morphology of the word more, because the word more is love, peace. Look, the word more, 5 principles: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. We talking about our free national name. This is what our name is. And it has other definitions like Merkaba or Merkava. We talking about a vehicle, a human light body. We talking about us. We are human light vehicles having a earthly experience in the form of Allah. We all having these each separate experiences, but we all come from source. This is the mind-blowing shit because we having a human experience in the spiritual form and the human form simultaneously, but we each having our own experience though in the form of Allah. And the only way we can meet Allah is not by sight, because you can't see Allah. We can't see Allah, but we can feel Allah. We can meet Allah here. Where's here? In the heart. That's why they say where your heart at. If you got a good heart, go a long way. But if you got a negative heart, like I said, you're gonna have trouble out here. Face gonna get all old, decrepit. You ain't gonna have good energy. Ain't nobody gonna wanna rock with you because you ain't got good energy. Look, speaking of that, let's go right here. Let's go right here. Let's go right here. Check this out. Speaking of good energy, listen to this.
At best, we Englishmen are but heterogeneous hybrids, and then you'll have in parentheses troglodyte nigger. Then you go into the troglodyte, and it will say caveman, Paleolith, Albion. Now, the areas where they predominantly dealing with their political evolutionary operations would be Angla with an LA, land.
Listen.
So Angla, land. Angla is where you get the term angle, or the land of angles. All right? So the land of angles is now called England.
Mm-hmm.
Are we clear? Also,
pause right there, Taj. Add on to what Taj talking about. This is the significance, the importance of us knowing who we are as a people, as Aboriginal and Indigenous Moorish people. Nationality is the order of the day. Nationality links, connects each one of us on this planet with a land, a flag, a language, a history, an inheritance, a culture, etc., etc. Without a national name, a nationality, a flag, a culture, a language, you are deemed stateless and dead in law. That is the bucket with holes in it that our people have been brainwashed with, and not even just our people. But the propaganda project affects Albions too. European hybrids too. It ain't just our people. Our people, like the prophet said, he came because we needed him the most. Everybody on this planet has a national name. Everybody on this planet has a flag. All human beings, living sentient beings, are connected to a landmass. You see, landmass, Cambodia, Singapore, you feel me? Philippines, Malaysia. But all of these people, they know that they Moors. And if you come over here to so-called Europe, you're really dealing with Albion. This is why hybrid Europeans are known as Albions. Or you can call them European hybrids. They're not fully European because Moors were on both sides of the planet as dark complexion people. This is why if you get this book right here, America being the latest, most accurate, right? Then you say, you go to the descriptions of what did our people look like throughout time. Dictionary, Merriam-Webster, Oxford English Dictionary. What you got here? What's tawny? What does tawny mean? See? What does tawny mean? A brownish orange to light brown that is slightly redder than sorrel. Brownish, that's what tawny is, okay? A brown-skinned person, tawny Moor. For the one who asked the question about the books, I got books in my highlight section. You can check them out. Look in my highlight section. I got a whole list of books in there. You can go check them out, or you could check Khalifa Media out. But don't worry about it. At the end of this beam out, I'm gonna show some books off. All right. But as you see, not from my words. This is from Merriam-Webster and Oxford English Dictionary. Tawny. This is why we gotta study linguistics. Get back to the linguistics. Who does that match? Don't that brownish complexion, don't that pretty much match everybody else on the planet except the Albion? So we over here thinking that people from all over around the world are not connected, when really, in reality, we all connected. We're all connected. This is why we gotta love instead of hate. So we over here thinking that, nah, this ain't got nothing to do with us. over here in Israel and Palestine. But when you're really looking at it, the description of tawny Moors is this. The description of tawny Moors is brownish orange to light brown, a brown-skinned person. How many brown-skinned persons are you looking at then? Because any brown-skinned person is a tawny Moor. These are just facts, fam. Now, I know that the school system, they got our people in a mindset like, when you hear this kind of information, the school system set it up from pre-K to however old you is right now. When you hear this kind of information and you see it in real time, one of the main things the school system was set up to do was to get us to be psychologically triggered. See? This is one of the operations of the propaganda project. From pre-K to college and so on. When you see information like this, you're going to get psychologically triggered. Because it's going to be like, I know you ain't trying to question who I am, fam. You can't tell me. You already know how people be talking. You can't tell me who I am. Fuck what you talking about. You can't tell me who I am. I know who I am. That's the ego talking. You know what I'm saying? The ego start kicking in when you start dropping something serious on them, and they pretty much, they gonna reject what you saying without even examining what you saying because they psychologically triggered. Because they feel attacked. They feel like their identity is being damaged. You're attacking their character. Keep in mind, when you say a word like swarthy, what does swarthy mean in the Merriam-Webster and the Oxford English Dictionary? What does swarthy mean? Possessing or being a dark color, complexion, see? Or cast somewhat dark in color. Swarthy. Swarthy. English Oxford Dictionary says of a dark hue, black or blackish, dusky. None of us are this though. You gotta know how to look at stuff and decipher it though in real time. No human being is white. No human being is black. For the record, it does not exist. There is no land on this planet. I don't care if you a flat earther. I don't care if you a round earther. There's no living beings on this planet walking around the color of this piece of paper. It don't exist. The shit don't exist, fam. There's no living beings walking around on this planet that's the color of this speaker. It doesn't exist. It just don't exist. So instead of being psychologically triggered because of what we seeing, because the school system says so, yeah, see, there it is right there. I'm glad you wrote that. Somebody wrote, I've seen some really dark people. Yes, you have seen, I have seen some really dark people, but there's no people on the planet that's black. No one is this. I don't care how dark you seen how they was. No one is this. No one is white or black. Common sense time. Are there orange people on the planet? What about blue? What about yellow? What about beige? What about turquoise? We talking about using common sense and breaking away from the buckets that got holes in them. The buckets from the school system that they gave us like fake education, they got holes in them. So we be thinking like we pouring something into it that we really learning something from, but they got holes in them, G. That's why when we get out here in the world, we get abused because we ain't got the tools. And the tools, like the Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, is going to come from studying. Constitution. Look at this. I want to show y'all something. Watch this. Let me see if I can do it right now. The 8th grade civics test. Okay. The 8th grade civics test. I don't know if I could do it in real time because they're going to. I don't know if I could do it in real time with it because they had something else on here, but I want to show y'all something from this 8th grade civics test. It was like a test that you took. It's like 100 questions on here, right? I don't see it on here right now, but they test about like geography, history, and all that. So I'm gonna have to find it later. Real time though. But you can Google it yourself though. They got something called the naturalization test. Matter of fact, let's see if they got it on there. The naturalization test. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah, there it is. So it say, have a basic understanding of U.S. history and government, civics, say that word civics again, be a person of good moral character, demonstrate attachment to principles and ideas of the U.S. Constitution. Okay. Let's see. We gonna go to this real quick. We gonna go to that real quick. I want the test though. They ain't giving out the test. Is they giving out the test on here? Study for the test. I want to see the. I want y'all to see this test, man. I really want y'all to see this test. I really want y'all to see this test though. Fuck. They show this test on here, right? Where they asking these questions. So I'm gonna do it later. But when they say taking this test, right? So it's 100 questions on the test. So on the test, they be like, you gotta answer 6 out of 10 questions. They gonna pull from 100 questions. You gotta answer 6 out of 10 questions right to go on to the next phase of the test. Now, whole time, the first question that I seen on here, I don't see it now. But the first question that I seen on here was, what is the supreme law of the land? That was the first question on one of these tests I had went to before just to see what they was on. The first question was, what is the supreme law of the land? Bam. This is what they on. If you don't know the supreme law of the land is the Constitution, on that test, here it is right here. There it is. Yeah. It is. Look. Civic question. This is 08. Look. 08. You know what I'm saying? Now look. See what I said? He say, will ask the applicant up to 10 of the 100 civic questions. 6 out of 10 questions correctly to pass. You got to pass 6 out of 10 questions correctly to pass the civic portion of the naturalization test. Now, keep in mind that these people, they don't have jurisdiction over here to tell us nothing about who can be over here or who can't be over here because they're not nationals. All right. This is why nationality is the order of the day, and to know who you are, not what you believe you are or what somebody told you. You got to know that you the Americans. You got to know that. Thick and thin, you have to know that this is your land. And you are a national. You got to know that. It's not about paperwork. People get confused because they be like, man, Kush, man, I ain't get my paperwork yet. It's not just about having the paperwork. What if you have a flood? What if you lose your paperwork? What if you lose your card? I mean, it's good to have stuff like that, but it's not confined because keep in mind, this, like the prophet said, Jay, this is a divine and national movement. It's not just confined to just a piece of paper. You got to know it in your heart because you can lose your piece of paper. You can lose your nationality card. The card and the paper don't make you. You make you. So studying, you show yourself approved. Now look, what it say? Let's zoom in. What is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. Now, this is a test. This is a test that they give people that want to so-called come to the Americas. What does the Constitution do? It sets up the government, defines the government, protects basic Americans, rights of Americans. See that? The idea of, let's do 6 on real fast. Let's do 6. He say, the idea of self-government is in the first 3 words of the Constitution. It say, what are these words? These words are, we the people. We the people. The first 3 words are about self-government. The first 3 words. Right there. Bing bong. What is an amendment? A change to the Constitution. An addition to the Constitution. What is that? What is that? And lastly, what do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? The Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights. So why would the school system want to show us this kind of information? Why would John D. Rockefeller, why would he want to show us any kind of information besides propaganda? Because if we knew that the supreme law of the land was the Constitution, wouldn't we be studying the Constitution as in pre-K? So imagine studying this Constitution from pre-K to however old you is right now. Come on. This is the divine and national movement. This is a divine and national movement, fam. Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube. This is a divine and national movement. This is not confined to just paperwork and us talking about it. Nah, we talk about it because it needs to be talked about, because the world was made in 7 days. Think about that. The world as we know it and everything in it was made in 7 days from thoughts and words. Think about the next time you about to say something out your mouth and you thinking of saying something crazy and saying that my words don't have authority in them. Fam, our words have authority to create the planet, planets, and everything on the planet and in the planet. So that's how powerful our words are. That's why you can't play around with words. Can't play around with no words. Can't play around with no words, fam. That's why they be like, say what you mean what you say. Talk to him, Tosh.
Ancient name before we called it England or the land of Angles is called Albion.
Mm-hmm.
And the hybrids, that was their major place that was set for them.
Because of the weather. And
Yes. It's called called Albion, and they were referred to as Albus or Albion, which means Paleolith. And so the Paleolith that they tell you in history with the Neanderthal, etc., the Paleolith, this is why here, before the takeover, we used to also refer to them as paleface. That comes from Paleolith.
Mm-hmm.
So they were trying to, from a standpoint of the reconstruction, the history that we've been given is to kind of say that there was a progression from this when that was actually simultaneous, that we were the Homo sapiens that were more modern, and they were coming up alongside us as some other kind of.
They are hybrids.
Right.
Yes, see the hetero. That's why I'm giving you reference so you can do research.
Mm-hmm.
Heterogeneous hybrids.
So in the Bible, would those have been the ones that they referred to as lepers?
Behind the rock.
The lepers.
Yeah. Now the rock. Rock. Now, the rock would be talked about in modern term as the Caucasus Mountains.
Right.
That's the rock. And this is why some people, not knowing the real history, refer to them as Caucasian. Mm-hmm. That would only actually apply to some, not all, but those who were mainly in the caves. Mm-hmm. All right. That would be the heterogeneous hybrids of the Pongidae, heterogeneous experiments. And Mama Callie, when I was listening to you all, and she was mentioning for a lot of the adepts who and in masonry and sociologists in their adept chambers, they'll tell the same story, slightly different, but the general story about Jakub, or in reconstructed history, instead of saying Jakub, they'll say Jacob. But Jacob is Jakub. Keep that in mind.
And then Jacob's ladder.
Yeah, exactly.
DNA.
Exactly.
Genetics. We are climbing Jacob's ladder.
Exactly. And they're also talking about what? Those 2 points where they cut the DNA. Mm-hmm. And this is where some of them have been referring to themselves as special. Mm-hmm.
Listen.
And where they consider the rest of humanity as being less than, and really, and they consider themselves gods, and they've been doing all this evil stuff on the planet, which is coming to a head right now. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of this information will be coming out to the people, even though it's ancient knowledge with us. A lot of the hybrids themselves will be telling the truth, because keep in mind, many of them didn't expect to be thrown under the bus.
Listen.
A lot of the hybrids themselves will be telling the truth, because keep in mind, many of them didn't expect to be thrown under the bus. And now that the world is starting to turn against the harlot, now, so the harlot term is actually given to the head of the hybrid hegemony operations, and sometimes they will be referred to as Babylon. Mm-hmm. That doesn't belong to them, but the term is given in history so that you would begin to have a concept in cycle when they begin to fall out of power. Right. And we're talking about the nations that made agreements with her. They all got the crabs, and they're all wailing because her power's falling.
Yeah.
This is what's happening today in the political realm, where the nations are no longer accepting trade with the unum sanctum alliances voucher system, which you know as the U.S. dollar.
Facts. And as you see, this is why studying, we come into the mindset of all of this is happening in real-time revelation. All of this is happening in real-time revelation. We're living in revelation times right now. The times that we living in are really wild. I mean, real life revelations are happening. There is a great revealing happening in front of our eyeballs, though. But it's happening so wild, so like in our face in like 5G speed. A lot of people are not going to be able to compartmentalize what they really seeing because of the school system. The school system, again, has had our minds under manipulation, propaganda, disinformation, and control. I'm talking about like a gorilla grip. Control. We've been out here not even knowing when we identify ourselves as anything other than Moorish, we put ourselves in a status of a poisonous tree or fruit from a poisonous tree. So you could say, if you're not identifying as your free national status as Moorish, then you're identifying as a fruit from a poisonous tree. The poisonous tree would be something as black. The fruit from black, you can say, is Indian, Native American, American Indian, Pan-African, free man. You can say somebody that's somebody who says that they're anything other than Moorish. You are saying that you're from a fruit from a poisonous tree. When you say that you're a U.S. citizen, that's fruit from a poisonous tree. When you say that you're a person of color, that's fruit from a poisonous tree. The poisonous tree is black. Negro, colored. That's the poisonous tree. So if you're not identifying as Moorish American, you're not identifying as an Aboriginal indigenous Moor, then you're dealing with a poisonous tree, and the fruit from the poisonous tree will lead you into disaster. To be abused, to be mistreated, to suffer. And your children are going to suffer because you still want to identify as a poisonous tree, which is black. This is what you're doing. This is why, again, we go right here and it say, right here, the people of the United States, look, the people of the United States reside within any state are subject to two governments, one state and the other national. But there need be no conflict between the two. This is why when we go right here, when we go right here, and what does it say? The American soil is the Moroccan ancestral estate, national domicile, North America. The Aboriginal and indigenous people of the land are not Indians, and they cannot be citizens of the USA. United States Alliance, United States Corporation, we can never be a part of that because we are the Aboriginal and indigenous people of the land. We're not Indians. When this is fully realized, your language and mindset will change, and the breakfast fight will be on and over. Bing fucking bong. You identify as anything other than Moorish, then you identifying with a poisonous tree, and the fruit from that poisonous tree will lead you to death. Civilita mortus, dead in the view of the law. This is why it says right here, so-called American blacks were set free as slaves, but never as free men. Can never be a free man because you're a slave in the black fruit from a poisonous tree status. NYC, Dykeman, Islam. Otherwise, if you want to get over here on this divine and national movement, you have to let go of Latino. You have to let go of identifying as Hispanic. You have to let that go. That's fruit from a poisonous tree. The tree is the poison, but we don't realize that the tree that we've been told, hey, go over there and sit underneath that tree over there. We ain't been told that that tree is the poison. That's the stuff that's been killing us. The tree that we've been looking at, or you could say this. Say this right here. The tree that we've been looking at, that's supposed to be a tree of life. Like we've been looking at it like, the tree over here is like gonna give us shade. It's hot, it's super sunny. We out here baking, right? We've been told, go by that tree over there, fam. You go by that tree over there, it's gonna be good. You're gonna be our shade over there. You got water over there. The tree over there is poison. The water over there that's coming from underneath the tree, the water is toxic. the water is toxic. We've been told to go over here and think like this is good for us. Right. A super false sense of security. Boston, Islam. It's all toxic. It's all polluted. And this goes into the fact of the press being our greatest weapon. Because the Morrison Divine National Movement was established as a civic organization in 1925-26 first. Before, 3 years before, it shifted and added on the Moorish Science Temple of America, which is a religious organization. It kicked off as a civic organization first, 1925. Receipts. Receipts. They don't show that though. Nah, they don't show that though. Nah, they don't never show that. You gotta ask yourself, why don't they ever show any receipts about when the Moorish Holy Science Temple of Science was established? They don't show no receipts though. Nah, they don't do that. They don't do that. So this is what I would suggest. This is from rvbaypublications.com. I would suggest this right here. Get you an unabridged dictionary, 1936. Look up the definition of an American. Get you a Henry Campbell Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. Look up the definition of nationality. Get you a cross-reference definition of rights in Bouvier's Law Dictionary. Emphasis on political rights. And 4, look up the definition of domicile and all of the sub-definitions of domicile in the Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. Everything that we've been told, fam, we got to go cross-reference everything. Everything got to be cross-referenced. Because if you looking at it from the school system is in business to get our minds to be out here like Jello. Straight molded clay for the school system. Why we gotta teach our babies? On God, question everything. Question everything and everybody. You know what I'm saying? And keep in mind, the highest frequency is love. This is the highest frequency right here. But what they did though, they got us out here looking at the news, scandals, gossip, drama. So what's the opposite of love? See what they did? They flipped the star upside down. So they got us out here on hate mode instead of being on love mode. You know what I'm saying? Hate only make more hate. But see, love make more love though. And everything else spins off of love. Truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You know what I'm saying? That's what it be about. That's all it be about. So, going back to these frequencies right here, this will get us back together. Because this school system, they not going to tell us that all these are connected. Like Malaysia, Mauritania, Pakistan, Turkey, Algeria, Tunisia. Can you see how they connected? Can you see it? Can you see it? Look how they connected. Look how they connected. Can you see it? What's that right there? See that moon? See that moon right there? Ah, see that moon? The moon connects them all. The moon connects them all. Going around. The woman connects them all. See? The half moon and the crest and the star. You see how it connects them all? See that? And that's just right here though. See? That's just right here. All these, you think it's a coincidence? How can all these be a coincidence that they all got a half moon and a star? How? How? These are different places on the planet, but they all are synchronized with a moon. All these are different places. So how are all these places from all over here synchronized with a half crescent moon and star? See? This is why, again, it's not paperwork, it's divine and national. You know what I'm saying? It's divine and national. Get in tune, Morris. Get in tune. Everything come from us. It's nothing that don't come from us. The good or the bad. Everything comes from us. Everything. So when we say, real fast for our slide, when it say, this right here, this style right here, check it out. What did it say? Check this out. It say the Moorish it says, hold up. It says the Moorish nation flag is the flag of her sons. It is red with a 5-pointed green star. Venus, the mother, in the center. When she became unconscious, the flag of her sons was flown. It represents the great bloodshed ensued upon the land. Many divisions and tongues, false prophets, and mass destruction and the likes. Check it out. This bloodshed was not only in death of the human form of many, but it represented the flow or shedding of the blood to make up many other nations. The scepter, if you will, was passed to her sons while she lay unconscious. It is not to the son's fault, as it was she who caused the great destruction, and it will be she who repairs it. The One World, One America, Tartarians and Moors. If you got the book, I'm on page 158. Ether. So, you Moorish women out there? You Moorish women out there? The connection is you. This is why us, as Moorish man, giving y'all love, like uplifting, when the prophet said, how you go about fixing the people? How you go about helping the people, uplifting the people? How do you do it? You gotta change the literature. Changing the literature. This is why the press is our greatest tool. The press, when you see it in front of you, and then you read it yourself, now you like, okay, nah, I got it. I got it. I got it. You know what I'm saying? I got it now because I see it now. In real time, though, I see it. So us uplifting you Moorish women, us uplifting y'all is actually uplifting us. So tearing y'all down tears us down. But don't get it twisted, though. Y'all tearing us down is tearing the nation down. This is why TV, scandal, drama, sex, drugs, murder, money, this is why it's always promoted. Death and all that shit, that's why it's always promoted. That's all them TV shows, and that's why it's all promoted. To get you Moorish women, because you are the nurturers. We are y'all divine protectors and providers. But we can't protect you and provide for you if you keep going to the dark frequency of sex, money, murder, self-indulgence. Feel like you're liberated without your other half, which is us as Moorish man. We are your divine, cosmic, divine protectors and providers. But the technology has got y'all thinking like y'all got y'all bag up. Y'all don't need us. That's what they wanted y'all to do. They wanted y'all to have higher salaries and have the man make less salaries so we can compete on a financial level instead of seeing eye to eye, third eye on a spiritual level. Saying? spiritual level, not just eye to eye with these two eyeballs. This eye on a spiritual level, up here as above, not just staying in the below frequency, but above frequency with the connectivity of third eye, pineal gland fully activated. That's the divine masculine energy and the divine feminine energy cosmically connected like magnets, like micro and macro magnets on a scale that's beyond what we living on right now. It's beyond, fam. It's not just here. That's why it's not just confined to the planet Earth. This shit is bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? This is why it's divine and love is at the top. Because it's not just here. It's a cosmic, universal energy. It's a frequency. It's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's happening right now. This is the Great Awakening. Because the information is coming out more and more every day. This is the Great Awakening. This is the Great Awakening. No nation can rise higher than this woman. That's why they want our woman to be twerking, dancing, shaking their ass all day, not out here like they should. And the little ones, the younger ones, they gonna be seeing that, and they gonna think like, that's the vibration that I need to be in. No, sir. You need to be in a God vibration, a God frequency, a God energy at a God level. That can only be attained with knowledge of self, not knowledge of staying inside the fruit from a poisonous tree. You can't be at God level when you eating poisonous fruit. Ain't gonna happen. The fruit gonna continue to poison our people until we put the fruit down, until we put the bucket down that got holes in it that we think really gonna give us sustenance for what we need to survive, and add on. Put the bucket down with holes in it. Put the poisonous fruit down with the Negro black color bullshit. Put the twerking shit down, because that's poisonous trees. Stop tricking off. That's fruit from a poisonous tree. And declare your nationality. And get back on top. That part. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That part. Right. That part, fam. You know what I'm saying? That part right there. That part right there. Time be flying on these beam my stuff. I ain't even knowing the time be flying like that. Already? So look though. I'm finna show y'all these books off. It's gonna take us though. It's gonna take us. Each one teach one. I'm gonna show you these books off. While I move around though. Alright. Share the beam out. This is part 2. You get out what you put in. Part 2. Wait till part 3 though. It's already in the chamber. Loaded. Let's show you these books though. Yeah. Show y'all these books though. Fruit from a poisonous tree though. Constitution. Shout out to Devontae. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget who you are. Huh? You know who you are? You know who you are? Time is now. For sure. Islam. The time is now. What you waiting for? The time is now. Bliss up, Moors. Bliss up, Moors. Know what I'm saying? Bliss up. Yeah. Time is now. Time is right now. Saying it's our time right now. Oh yeah. Rise up, Moabitises. Get up, Moabitises. Wagwan. Get up, Moabitises. Get up. You gotta get up. You gotta get up. Ain't no more self-pity. Ain't no more self-doubt. Get up. Link up with people that's on the same wave you on. You know what I'm saying? Link up with people on your vibe, your frequency, your energy. If they ain't on that vibe like you on that vibe, get away from them. They don't deserve to be around you. You know what I'm saying? It's that part. That ain't selfish. That's just you got love for yourself. You got love for your people. You protect your energy. You protect your aura. You protect your future. Straight up. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna holler at y'all more though. Hope y'all got something from this beam out though. Part 2 though. Wait till part 3 though. On the cook up. On the cook up. Appreciate y'all more tuning in though. Share it out. Our self-law and master. Each one teach one. Rise of the nobles. Much love to all y'all out there, man. Real shit. Jamaica. Wagwan. Cuba. Barbados. All y'all out there. Matter of fact, let me show y'all. G. All y'all out here. All y'all Moors out here from the Caribbeans. Haiti, DR, PR, Hispaniola, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Trinidad, Tobago, Guyana, Grenada, Venezuela, Colombia. You know what I'm saying? Central America. All y'all out there. All y'all out there. PR, all the Boricua Tainos out there. South America. All y'all out there, fam.
I really think
this is what it is. This is what it is. Guyana. This is what it is. Hawaii. This is what it is, fam. All y'all Arawaks out there. East Coast, West Coast, North, South. All that. All that, Morse. Yeah, man. I be wanting to keep going, though. Real shit, though. But I ain't even gonna do it, though. I be wanting to just keep going. But wait for part 3, though. Alright? I'ma holler at y'all more, man. Alright, you got questions? Don't be shy. Hit me on the DM. Alright? Hit me on the DM. I'ma holler at y'all more. Much love.